Welcome to Lawn Dude Unearthed. You're about to hear a podcast about us starting this week out. Dominating the week is really the theme of it, but it's more so about getting everyone fired up in this video. So before I sit here and play the intro and get right into this video, I did want to have a shout out to my buddy Rob with 5 points lawn service. I'm sorry, I am not reading. I'm not actually reading your email right now to where I can actually get your company name right. But I know we have conversed back and forth over the years throughout YouTube. Really, 5 points lawn. I'm shouting you out because I really appreciate the message that you sent out to me last week. You really hit on some points as to why I am doing this. You said I am relatable, for lack of a better word, from what I'm remembering. I'm paraphrasing, and I do apologize that I don't have, I meant to print out what you had said and go ahead and read it out on here, but I did not print that out. I did want to shout you out to let you know that I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me that you sent that to me, that message to me. Because once again, I do this podcast to be relatable. I do this podcast to speak on things that no one is speaking about in this business, in this industry. But once again, appreciate you, and I hope you guys enjoy the listen today. Now let's cue the intro. Welcome back to Lawn Dude Unearthed. I'm fired up. You fired up? Funny. That's a chant we used to say when I used to play football. Man. We could be in practice. We could be in a game. We could just see a teammate that is not looking all that energetic, looking like they need motivation. We would always go, I'm fired up, you fired up, yeah. We would just chant that, man. Instantly we become fired up. So, as I sit here ready to begin a work week, what's supposed to be a real hectic work week, with Memorial Day weekend coming up. Y'all know how it goes. Everybody under the sun, every client you have wants their grass cut by Memorial Day weekend, by any holiday weekend for that matter. So I have a full Monday through Friday of mowing. I get to do it without my main mowing rig because currently my box truck is down just due to the oil pressure hose leaking and needing replacement. Something that I would say isn't a big deal. I could honestly get away with driving it, but like my mechanic said, you never know when it's gonna burst fully, and then you're gonna have oil all over the place, and then you gotta worry about the engine not having oil, and yada yada yada. Enough for me to say, you're not worth it. So I'll be in the Ram 2500 with the 20-foot trailer this week. And I'm not gonna lie, kind of excited to be in it for a couple days. Well, probably might even be for the week. I might just stay in that for the week. I get to test it out on some of my further stops, which I do. The furthest away I go from my route is 12 miles. Yeah, I think it's 12 miles. And in that box truck, being a 2001 Isuzu W3500, I'm sorry, GMC W3500. In other words, it's the same thing as a Isuzu MPR. Being a 2001 model, the seat probably doesn't have as much cushion as they do factory. So I will tell you that is not the most comfortable ride. It's not, the purpose of the truck isn't comfort. It's to haul around all of the equipment in the back. And it does that just fine. But I must admit, I'm not one to complain, but that is not the most comfortable truck for any type of distance. So I am excited to try my Ram 2500 with a 20-foot trailer out on the same routes. Obviously, I've used it on the routes because I was using truck and trailer forever up until last season is when I went to the box truck. But I'm more excited to try this now that I've been using the box truck on all these routes and have found great efficiencies. What I have been toying around with is honestly going with the truck and trailer for my distance route more so, maybe my commercial route, and go with the box truck every other day, like all my tighter, dense routes, which is how it will be when I eventually get my plan in motion and have employees driving the box truck and I take the truck and trailer out. But I say all this to say, despite my box truck going down, despite this being Memorial Day prep week when we're mowing everything under the sun, despite it being the start of a week in general, I can still sit here and say, I'm fired up, you fired up? Yeah! Because I'm ready to dominate this week, man. I'm ready to crush it. I'm not one of those guys who sits around all upset because of my circumstances. Nah, man. That's just not my style, man. Straight up. My style is to conquer. My style is to dominate. I plan to dominate this route. I plan to have the time I would love to have. The time that honestly I've earned. I've been busting my behind this whole season so far. And anybody that knows me knows I do everything to the fullest. I've been busting my behind to be the best I can be in every department. Striving to be the best I can be as a husband. Striving to be the best I can be as a father. As a son, cousin, godfather, uncle, son-in-law. Everything I do, I am striving to be my best. And because of that, and because of the weight I put on my own shoulders, because of the pressure I put on myself, because of the close to perfect attitude I carry as far as trying to do everything to the highest standard when some would call it done a long time ago, because of all of this, I've earned some time to relax. So I tell you what, some people get upset with weeks like this when they're super busy. I get excited. Because guess what? After grind time, as long as I do what I'm supposed to do, which I have no doubt in my mind I will do, I'm going to grind Monday through Friday. And that will warrant me Well, that will award me. I'm sorry, I can't even speak right now, man. That will award me the Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. Most people go, oh, what's the big deal about having. What is such a big deal about just having 3 days off? Well, when you're a business owner that's always working nonstop round the clock, we look forward to a weekend. But this isn't just a weekend, it's a long weekend for us. Especially, like I said, a lot of us have earned this time off. I'm not a guy that sits around and just plays video games all the time. I'm always round the clock doing something. So, 3-day weekend, look forward to that. So, as I look into starting this week, you know what I sit here and say, man? Let me go ahead and dominate that right there. Let me go ahead and dominate this week. Let me crush it, man. Because that's what we do, man. Us over here at Lawn Dude, we dominate everything. And I don't mean that in any kind of way. I don't want somebody to get the wrong impression of us when I sit here and say that. But once again, if you've heard all these podcasts, you've heard me say I hold myself to the highest standard. There is no competition out there but myself. So in my mind, I plan to go out here and dominate the stripes I put on the lawns. I want to dominate my customer service. I want to dominate the experience that my clients receive from us taking care of their properties. I want to dominate these routes. I want to just dominate everything in business. And most importantly, way more important than anything in business, I would like to dominate my family life. I like to, I hate to take it to this and make it emotional for me, or anyone that's listening. But one thing I can say is, God forbid, whenever God says it's my time to go, people aren't going to be, and one thing I don't want people to remember me for is, oh my gosh, that man used to crush it working. He used to be a workaholic. Ooh, he used to lay some mean stripes on the yard. That's not what I want people to remember me for. I want people to remember me as, he was a good man. He always took care of his wife. He always showed he loved his wife. He always spent time with his kids. He was a good dad. He was a great dad. Screw that, man. Awesome dad. He lived a blessed life. He encouraged many. He inspired many out there. So you know what? While I'm on this life, while I'm on this earth, as long as God blesses me to be on this earth, my goal is to be a great husband, father, everything else under the sun that is attached to my name. And I would love to inspire many. That's why I started this podcast. It wasn't to sit here and have a get-rich-quick scheme. Because trust me, there are many other things I could do, especially with my time. But I would love to inspire others. I would love to touch other people's lives. That is what I do this for. So if I can give some people some advice, some tips, some suggestions, some life experiences, because once again, we're all in this together. I go through stuff just like everybody else goes through stuff, and that is that 100%, keeping it 100 that I bring with this podcast. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart right there. I do this to inspire. I do this to provide insight. I do this to help others. Because that is just who I am. Alright, y'all. I don't mean to take this to another level, but that's part of the reason why I'm so determined to dominate, man. That's part of the reason why I mean, you really just heard my why without me even trying to say it. It's my family each and every day of the week, twice on Sundays, man. Dominate the week. Heck, dominate your work schedule so you can get back to your family. Make your schedule so that you can get back to your family, man. Because, I mean, who knows? I'm sure a lot of people out there are in business too because they're money driven. I'm not. As long as we have enough to cover everything and I'm able to actually adjust my schedule to where I'm able to be there for my family, for those that I love, that's what matters to me. But that's my 2 cents worth right there to start this week off. I'm actually excited to start the week off. I'm actually hyped to start the week off. But you know what? I'm trying to keep it down a little bit right now. As I record this podcast, real time, late Sunday night, going into Monday morning. I'm recording this podcast and believe I shall be releasing this in the morning because I would love this to inspire others to dominate their week. Like I want to be that guy on our team that goes, I'm fired up, you fired up, and then we can sit here and yell, yeah. I'm fired up, you fired up, yeah. So that's all I got for y'all today. Thank you so much for listening. Y'all take it easy. Have a blessed week. Peace. Thank you for listening to Lawn Dude Unearthed, where we dive into deep topics, discussing not only the highlight reels, but we talk about the lowlight reels, the struggles, the successes. Anything we want to talk about for today, we will cover on this podcast. Once again, I appreciate you for listening to this. If you can, please give us a 5-star review. We are currently on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and still working on a few more. Thanks again for listening to us. Y'all be blessed. Peace.